So in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Cincinnati Bengals' new documentary called Heartbeat. This is going to be a multi-part documentary series. This is episode 1. It's titled From the Jungle. It was released this past Tuesday, which was much more exciting and thrilling to Bengals fans than getting a Joe Burrow deal done. But whatever. The first question I have is, why is this narrated by Zach Taylor? It must be because he has a huge, booming, authoritarian voice that matches the world of professional football, you know, kind of like the voiceover guy on NFL films. Let's take a listen to Zach and see why his voice is perfect for this kind of documentary.
And to win it. But you can see now those players that are Sam Hubbard, Tyler Boyd, you know, those guys that have been there through thick and thin, just the appreciation you have for believing in the message.
Okay. Were there no other voice actors anywhere in the Midwest that could be hired to narrate this?
Believing in what we were building, and as we've added pieces around them, getting everybody to buy into that vision, and it's.
I'd love to compare these smiling new arrivals to other first days in Bengals history, first days where they're god-awful and everybody is already showing up miserable. Like, I want to see camera footage of Corey Dillon walking in to the first day of training camp. I want to see Bengals players showing up dripping with hate on day one.
Guys are going to work hard, have a championship mindset. When they're in the locker room, they know that they got to give their best because the guy next to them is giving their best, and they don't want to let their brother down. And the expectations always come in and win our first game of the season, you know, and this year it happens to be a divisional game against a really good opponent. And
I never understand this camera angle. Is this supposed to give me the feeling that I'm a lap, that I am the seat of a car? Or is this just filmed by setting an iPhone on top of a bunch of folded clothes, pointing it at you and pressing record? I think we're using the lap shot just so Zach could have an opportunity to show off his guns.
Is win your division and have a home field game in the playoffs. And then from there, you're able to take the next steps towards your next goals. And so that's always our focus, is to come out on top of our division and give ourselves our best chance going forward. So it's a little bit of starting over for us. We have new people in there, new rookies, new free agents, new people with new opportunities. And so this offseason is about recreating that camaraderie, making sure they get to know their teammates. It's a group of men that I think really enjoy being around each other. You know, if you just walk in our locker room and you see those guys and develop that camaraderie and just interact with each other in a more social setting.
Oh my God, he sucks at this. Were there no other voice actors left alive in the Midwest that could carry this video? Oh my God, Zach.
Every year, 32 teams prepare for the NFL draft, a bid for their future, influenced by their past. A pivotal moment where one name called out on a stage can reshape a team's future and ignite hope throughout the fan base.
Okay, welcome to Kansas City and the 2023 NFL Draft.
They should play the Emperor's theme whenever Mike Brown is on screen. In fact, I'm just going to do that. Here we go.
Hello?
Hey, Miles, this is Zach Taylor, Cincinnati. You want to come to the Bengals?
Yes, sir.
This is hilarious to me because it shows how no one is capable of talking on the phone anymore. No one is aware of what the give and take is, or when someone's supposed to speak and when someone is supposed to listen. It's just a series of stutters. That would make perfect sense.
Ready to go?
Does Zach,
Oh,
Katie,
yeah.
or Mike Brown?
All right, man. I'm fired up about you. Excited to get you up here.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, Miles, you bet.
They should just text draft picks their notification, and then the draft picks can hold their phone up to the camera and jump up and down. Oh, here's the Bengals' first-round pick. He's arriving. This is kind of cool, showing the pick arrive and quite literally meet a bunch of people for the first time. This is pretty interesting.
Appreciate it.
Oh, here he comes. Here he is. Then there's this part where they go and they talk through the contract. It's kind of interesting.
Sounds good.
Ready to sign some contract and get
Yep.
And then on the second line, right-hand side, it should say.
I honestly don't know what I'd do if $6 million appeared next to my name somewhere. My first instinct would be to flee, because clearly a mistake has been made, and it's only a matter of time before someone catches it. But if I have a long enough headway, I could probably get out of the country with most of this money, or at least most of this money now in Bitcoin
For a
form.
rookie, they carry the weight of making a
Oh,
name
here
for
we see
themselves.
Orlando Brown arriving next, signing
Lucky
his
for
contract.
Miles, this team is rife with experience. Even more so now with the signing of Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah, how y'all doing? I'm Orlando.
Good.
How you doing?
Luke, man, I'm a producer here.
Okay. How are you? I'm good. I'm guessing you one sort of people in the back.
Hold on, wait a minute. What's that in his pocket? Is that a tail? Is he a furry? Oh, man.
I'm Ellen. Yes, ma'am. I'm Orlando. Nice to meet you. There you go.
Zach is about to drop a motivational line here that is so flat it could have been delivered by Andy Dalton.
So it's off the side.
Don't mistake that endearing facade for weakness, because from snap to whistle, this team is all business.
Was that Andy Dalton? It sure sounded like Andy Dalton.
Today is Tuesday, May 2nd. We have a
Is
crew
Katie Blackburn the
going
most
up to
popular
Canton
sports exec
to
in the
walk
city?
through to learn
It
about
ain't a Red
different
Zoner.
locations they've got up at the
It
Hall
ain't
of Fame
Mike.
to prep for Ken Riley's Hall of Fame
I feel like it's
induction.
her just by default.
And my personal
I don't know
highlight
who
that I'm
owns
looking forward
the
to is we're going to do an archives tour.
the soccer team. I couldn't even think of their name.
So where we're going to head to, we actually have 2 locations, and depending on time, we can check out.
So Katie and her team get taken to the archives, and we see a bunch of Paul Brown material. There's some cool shots here of Paul Brown stuff, but not much else. The entire purpose of this section seems to be to show what a good time the Brown family had in Canton. Good for them.
Here at Day Air Ballpark, Logan Wilson, celebrity.
All right, now we're headed to Dayton for a celebrity softball game. Man, Ocho still looks fast.
Most of these guys out here obviously playing.
Yeah, it does. It's something that I missed, something that you can't emulate or replicate once you leave the game. The fun, the jokes. I'm glad Logan invited me. Glad to be here.
I'm glad these guys all had a good time. They seem like they had a good time, but I'm starting to wonder what the point of all of these scenes are. This is like a full-length documentary, and it's entitled Heartbeat. But so far there's no through line, there's no thread connecting each of these scenes. Each of these scenes to me feels like something that was shot for the website or for social, and now they're just combining all of this content into one chunk and calling it a documentary. Now we have Logan Wilson's deal. I wish they would have showed us something new here, some sort of insight into the negotiation process, or the Bengals front office, just anything at all. It's just Logan Wilson walking in with his wife and signing a contract and looking happy. Yeah, I'd look happy too if I made $10 million today. This isn't that interesting. Yeah, I'm about 40% into this documentary, and I have no idea what the theme or the through thread is. It's episode 1. It's called Heartbeat. But aside from having Zach narrate it, these scenes don't have anything that connects them. These all feel like different vignettes that were shot for the website, that were shot for social, that are now just all kind of being combined into one longer document. I'm going to keep watching. Let's see if we determine what the theme is.
For me, one of the biggest reasons why I didn't want to leave was being a part of the turnaround that we've had here and not wanting to leave what we've kind of started. I wanted to keep playing for Coach Taylor, I think. He's such a player's coach. He takes care of us like no other.
I'm always shocked at how these alphas respond to and play for Zach Taylor. He just comes across as such a squishy weenie. I can't believe alphas follow him into battle. I don't know if I'd even follow Zach Taylor through the front door of my own home.
You know, probably team does, and guys recover better because of that. He takes care of us if you're injured. I mean, all these different things that go into it. I mean, he's awesome. He's been tremendous to play for, and there's just no other coach I wanted to play for at the end.
Okay, the AFC title game 2 years ago. This is the greatest night in Bengals history. And the game ball playoff idea, or the playoff game ball idea, that's a really good one. That's interesting how Zach talks about he takes his inspiration from college because it feels very college. That's a really good idea. It's something that I'm glad the city and the town incorporated. Look at everybody showing up to welcome back the fallen Bengals. When the Bengals lost the Super Bowl, this is what should have been what was waiting for them back at Lunken Airport.
Hey, look! There's a big crowd welcome us back, even though we lost.
Hey, I'll give you something to cry about, you loser. You can't catch a football? Let's see if you can catch a rock.
Further ado, it's heads. AFC, pack your bags. You're coming to the city by the river. Who Day?
Loyalty means more to some than others.
Is Zach dropping his L's on the word loyalty? It sounds like he's saying oilty.
For Phil Amrine, loyalty to his team.
He's saying oilty, right? Phil is oil, according to Zach.
Loyalty, I just see it as a natural thing.
Phil seems nice. This party looks fun. I imagine that it's got a pretty good spread. If you've been to Phil's party, let me know in the comments. And now we move on to training camp.
News tonight, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow went down in practice.
Oh no, why did you cripple poor little Joey Burrow? I'll never get used to the helmets on top of the helmets. It makes all of their heads look disproportionately large. It makes everyone on the field look like the DK code version of GoldenEye.
Are you excited to go on the game tonight? Is this your first one? No kidding? I wonder if these cookies are any better than the ones we had the other night. You know, somebody said to me today...
Wait, so now we're just going to walk around a tailgate and watch some dude schmooze and eat? Nobody wants to see that.
What time did you guys get out here this morning?
9 o'clock-ish.
9 a.m. How many sausages have you had today?
5 pounds of sausage.
Just 5?
12 pounds of ham. No.
Wow, you guys have like the greatest spread of all time here.
He is the best cook.
Who day? Who day? Who day? But
we've spent more time with Phil than we have any real Bengal.
Picture day.
Well, we just arrived at Kingdom Productions.
And after all that, we're off to Media Day. All this production stuff is cool, and it looks great, and it's fun to see how that stuff comes together. But there's not much else here. This is all just very boring.
More like the home his now late father raised him in.
A Son Never Forgets Foundation. Talk to me about that.
Renee's bound to miss a day of taping this fall due to her husband losing 3 gallons of blood in a Texas death match. And after a reader interview, the doc concludes with a recap of Bengals Falcons. And here we are at the end. Time to close with the Zach Taylor Gun Show. Zach gives a little speech here.
Back to the people investing in our sports teams here and investing in the Bengals.
This documentary feels really disjointed. It's called Heartbeat, but who embodies it? What is the heartbeat? Is it the team? Is it loyalty? Is it Phil, the super fan? Is it Zach Taylor?
I can just say for myself, every day I see people walking, whether it's as I go to work, come back from work.
Like I said, each scene in this 40-minute doc feels like an 8-minute thing shot for the website or for social, and then they just combined 10 of them together. 7 of them together. Well, that documentary was completely underwhelming. The biggest question I have going into episode 2 is Zach going to narrate all of these? Whew. I hope my ears can handle it. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back with episode 2 next week.